Ladies and gentlemen, Jai Gurudev, good afternoon. Welcome to a wonderful session, Leadership Wisdom Talk series of Faculty of Management Studies, Schindler University, Cuttack, Odisha. I'm extremely happy. My name is Dr. D.D. Swai. I'm the Dean for Faculty of Management Studies, Schindler University. Extremely happy to welcome today's chief speaker, Engineer Ashok Ramachandran. At present, he is the CEO and President of Schindler India. He is a highly passionate, inspired, and result-oriented top talent, general management professional with diverse experience, ranging from leading businesses in mature markets to fast-growing emerging markets. Engineer Ashok Ramachandran is an Australian citizen of Indian origin who joined Schindler in 2006 and nearly has spent more than a decade and a half now at the company in various roles and designations at Schindler. After completing his schooling at Chennai, he obtained bachelor's in engineering in instrumentation and control from SRM University, Chennai. Engineer Ashok earned his post-graduation degree from one of the most renowned universities in the world, the Swinburne University of Technology, located in Melbourne, Australia. There he chose to study Masters in Engineering in Industrial Engineering and completed his studies in 2006. Having said that, Engineer Ashok is also fluent in 3 languages, English, Hindi, and Tamil, and many more. He will be going to reveal that. In 2006, Engineer Ashok started his career at Schindler as a quality engineer in Australia. To remain the quality engineer at Schindler, lived Australia for almost a year and later got promotion and was given the post of quality manager. In 2009, he became the regional general manager, Queensland. 2012, he became the managing director, Schindler, Vietnam. 2016, managing director, Schindler, Malaysia. 2018, CEO, Schindler, India. And 2019 onwards, CEO and President, Schindler, India. As President, Engineer Ashok is now in charge of the company's day-to-day activities, including distribution, marketing, and operations, as well as the plant, which is the first multinational company factory in India to produce both elevators and escalators, as well as the R&D facility. In the Economics Times 40 under 40, Engineer Ashok Ramachandran, President of Schindler, India and South Asia, was named one of the India's brightest business leaders under the age of 40. His life lessons from which people of all age and gender can get inspired are listed below. Leave alone, bring the wow factor to stand out. Any experience is a good experience. Be your own marketing manager, skills, formal education, and personal branding. So, ladies and gentlemen, you will be very happy to know is there in YouTube. You can reach his YouTube. He is a wonderful speaker, phenomenal human being, and a great chief executive officer. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Engineer Ashok Ramachandran, CEO and President of Schindler. Welcome, sir. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Doctor, for this wonderful introduction. You know, nobody has referred me as engineer so many times in my life. In fact, sometimes I even wonder why did I do engineering, but it's good to hear this. So at least now I feel a bit validation. It wasn't so bad to, do some engineering as well. Before I start my session, I wanted to ask a very small question to everyone. This is not a quiz, but it's a so feel free to answer and don't miss the opportunity to make your first impression. The question is, I want 2 volunteers to give a short introduction, a 30-second introduction about themselves. It's a most common question asked in any interview, any college interview, doesn't matter, work interview, is please introduce yourself. And it's in my perspective, it's a most important question because this question determines whether the interviewer is interested to listen to you further. And after you share your example, I will give you my perspective on it and I will tell you why I asked this question as well. So can we have 2 volunteers?
Yeah, Vijay is there. I will ask to unmute Vijay. Okay, I'll sir, audience is on mute. So, so Vijay, I have unmuted you, so you can go ahead.
We can have Vijay and then maybe Ishika. I can see her hand as well. Yeah.
Good afternoon, all of you present over here. Uh, my name is PJ Powdel from Nepal. The greatest inspiration of my life is the Everest, the top of the world that lies in the country where I belong to. And why I feel inspired with this is despite of the challenges, being at the top and still being calm, composed in the challenging situation inspire me a lot from the resource that we have in our country. That is the identity of all the old. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay. Can you unmute Ishika Agarwal, please?
Hello, hi everyone. Good afternoon to all present here. I am Ishika. I am from Bangalore, and so recently I got graduated from Bishop Cottons. I did my BBA from Bishop Cottons, and post that I started working as an operations analyst at Open House. And yeah, I'm currently working. I love talking to new people. I love connecting. I love knowing new perspectives. I love knowing what is going on in the management industry. And I am a keen, passionate management student. So that is how I come with my career path aligned. And yeah, that is why I am here today. I'm really very glad to have a conversation with Mr. Ashok Ramachandran and Sri Sri University for giving me this opportunity to talk here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ishika. I know a couple of you more also want to speak. We will get more opportunity, don't worry. I'm going to make this very interactive. So I wanted to start with this. Now let me introduce myself and then we'll close the loop. Leadership with love is a quote that defines me as a person. My goal in life is to create an army of leaders who will go on to achieve professional and personal success in their lives. By the way, I happen to be the CEO and president of Schindler India. I truly believe that my title doesn't define me as a person, but how I treat people, how I give them opportunities, and how I help them succeed is what defines me as a person. And I'm very excited to be here with all of you today to share something that I'm very passionate about, which is to inspire students and make you all better and better. So that's my short introduction. And the reason I wanted to start with this is, as a homework, I request all of you to prepare a 30-second introduction. You heard Vijay, you heard Ishika, you heard me. I think Vijay, you did a fantastic job with what you said. Attracts attention, not just about what you do and stuff. I liked Ishika's confidence, her fluency, and how she included her passion. And my suggestion to all of you is, and if you reflect back on what I mentioned as my introduction, I did not only speak about who I am, but I spoke about why do I exist? Why am I? A purpose. So when you all apply for campus placements, you have colleges, companies coming into your college. There are going to be 100 people attending an interview, and you want that coveted job, Let's say that McKinsey has come with a 40 lakh offer and they have only 4 spots, but there are 40 people. How can you be that 4, part of that 4 and not part of the 36 who did not get selected? It starts with this simple basic question of, please tell me about yourself, or please introduce yourself. Today, my dear friends, I'm going to share with all of you 6 lessons. 6 lessons from my personal journey, which I hope will inspire you and help you in your life as well. The first one, fail many times, but never lose. Never utter the Q word. What is the Q word? Quit. So Dr. D.D. Swain introduced you all. I'm from Chennai. I went to SRM Engineering College. Very normal upbringing, like most people with a lot of aspirations, but was always a below average, academically weak student. In India, we make a lot of times the joke that people study engineering and then they think about what do I want to do in life. That's a little bit of my story as well. I finished engineering and then I was thinking कि अभी क्या करना है life में. In fact, last week I made a Instagram reel on my physics teacher. I remember 11th standard. She called my parents and she said, this guy is useless. Take him out of school or send him on some diploma. He won't do well. And that's how our education system has been for a very, very long time. And I'm very happy to see Sri University, inviting people like us to talk to students, to give you all a perspective. जब हमारा पढ़ाई हो रहा था तो ऐसा कुछ ज्यादा नहीं था. I don't even remember we had one, in fact. It was a very different world altogether. There was no social media, there was no YouTube channels. There was a social media networking platform called Orkut. That was the only thing I remember. Maybe Dean, sir, you may remember Orkut. I don't know if you had even used Orkut at that time, but Yahoo chat was there. So society was judging me based on my academic performance, and I was not meeting the benchmark. Unfortunately, I had a sister, I would say fortunately, but unfortunately for me, because she was a topper and I was a loser. So obviously comparisons in the family, friend circle, teacher circle. Somehow I never quit, with all that is happening around me. I never gave up. I just kept pushing myself. I think the question in my head was always, am I good enough? To myself, not because somebody else thinks I'm bad. There was a lot of insecurity. There was a lot of confusion. So if many of you here feel that I really don't know what I want to do in life, I'm not sure why I did this, I've taken up this course, it's totally normal. It's totally normal because I think it takes at least 22, 23 years to figure out, for many people. I'm not going to say all, because today there are a lot of 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds who are very clear about what they want to do in life. If you're one of them, well done. If you're not, don't worry about it. Also, please remember that you don't have to compete with any of your friends to become the first person to get the campus placement, the person to get the highest salary in the campus placement, the person to get the job, the person to go overseas first time. It doesn't matter who goes first. What matters is who can be happy. There is no connection. You may be thinking there's a lot of connection. I was talking to one of my young talents yesterday. He joined Schindler 3.5 years ago. And he said, sir, when I came out of college, मुझे लगा कि अगर 10 लाख में कुछ जॉब मिल गया तो बहुत खुश होगा मैं. So he got a job. He was paid 11 lakhs. Then he said कि 2 साल के बाद लगा कि अबे 20 लाख का मिल गया ना तो मस्त. इसके ऊपर क्या चाहिए? 20 lakh salary. Then he got 22 lakhs. अभी बोल रहे सर 40 लाख तो चाहिए ना थोड़ा. So my dear friends, it's a never ending game. I'll tell you something about money. When you get the money the first month, you are very happy. After 2 months, already you'll feel कि अरे बहुत कम है. So if you are in any situation in your life, whether it is educational, whether it is emotional, personal, quit करना बहुत ही आसान है. Not to quit is the difficult one. If you feel like quitting, write to me. I will tell you why you don't need to quit for your situation as well. The second lesson I want to teach all of you is no job is beneath your standards. You know, when I was working in Australia, I was talking to the CEO of a 5-star hotel. And he said that, you know, we want a lot of plumbers, electricians. We went to India and none of the young graduate students want to work in such kind of jobs. All the parents told them that ki AC room mein baith ke unko kaam chahiye. If you are all planning to retire, when you join college, when you join work, you can work in AC room. उसके लिए बहुत सालों है ना रिटायर होने के लिए. So don't ever think I can't do this job. अरे ये कौन करेगा? मैं यहाँ नहीं जाऊंगा, वहां नहीं जाऊंगा. In fact, if you have an opportunity, I request all of you to do some kind of a side hustle, internship, part-time job, weekend, holidays. Please go and work. Any job, doesn't matter. It has to be related to MBA. It has to be related to engineering. Ramu Kaka ki dukaan mein bhi ja sakte ho aap. You can, you know, bundle packet of groceries and sell. You will learn customer service. Even today, I'm a strong believer that India's Kirana Dukan have better CRM than any of the established companies in the world. So no job is beneath your standard. Tasks that we curse today prepare us the most for tomorrow. And those who have followed me on social media know very well that I have done all those jobs. As a college student, both in India and overseas, all kinds of jobs, right from dishwashing to car washing, cleaning toilets, picking beer bottles. The best skills I learned was from these jobs. See, anybody can go and study MBA. You can even go to Harvard, Stanford and study MBA. And I will share with you a real story that's happening right now in my life. My school topper from Chennai was also a topper in BITS Pilani, topper in IIM Bangalore. Last month called me, he said, I don't have a job for last 8 months. I am now run out of money as well. Can you give me 50,000 rupees? I was totally shocked. I used to be the class failure and he was a class topper. I did help him. But you know, the reason is, on paper, he is definitely a topper. But soft skill ka bahut bada gap tha. Communication skills, networking skills, interpersonal skills, confidence. Ye sab problem tha. And all these soft skills is all groomed during your college life, school life, your environment at home. That's why, you know, I often notice that those who are very active in college in curricular activities, right, culturals and all that, they do extremely well in life. I have thousands of examples. Third lesson I want to share is opportunities are meant to be taken with both hands. Chances are scarce. Don't complain if others claim them before you do. So, you know, when I was working in Australia, the company said, you know, we have an opportunity in Vietnam. Now, Vietnam, it doesn't sound very attractive. If they had told me, you know, America, UK, Europe, acha lagta hai. This is what everybody told me. Why do you want to go to Vietnam? I said, why should I not go to Vietnam? Wahan problem kya hai? Are developing country hai, you know, there's a lot of poverty, it's dirty. I'm like, that's okay. I have a choice. I had two choices, in fact. You know, I had a choice to be the managing director of Vietnam or a general manager in Schindler, USA. So I said, I want to be a big fish in a small pond rather than a small fish in a big pond. So how does it, you know, for you, you'll be wondering, what is the comparison for me? The comparison for you is when you get a job, lot of times you'll be asked for posting in a small city. We, you know, I remember this example. There was one student from one of the premium B schools. During COVID, he lost his offer, you know, campus interview offer got retracted. So he messaged me on LinkedIn and he said, sir, I'm desperately looking for a job. Please help. So then I said, okay, fine. We have an opportunity in Cochin, you know, Kerala. Then he said, sir, Kerala mein nahi jamega, sir. Wahan ka rice hai na bahut mota hai. And I was shocked. So people come to me with all these kind of stupid excuses, you know. Oh, I can't speak Tamil. I can't go to Chennai. How do I go to Punjab? I don't speak Punjabi. I cannot eat gehu every day. This guy was very particular, desperate for a job, but very particular. Sir, मुझे product manager का role चाहिए, Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai. I told him, I said, ये तो बहुत ही desperation दिख रहा है क्योंकि इतना particular हो आप. Desperate people are not choosing. So when you get an opportunity, even if the job role is not of your liking, even if it is in some small place, just go for it. The next one is know your limit only to cross it. Self-awareness is so important, but only to help you to step out of your comfort zone. First of all, self-awareness is not very common. You know, most of us, we actually think that we are very good. That's a problem. Fundamental issue we have there. You go for campus interview. So let's say that Shaurya and Subhendu have gone for a campus interview. Shaurya ko job mil gaya, Subhendu ko nahi mila. Now he will talk to his friends. Are wo kya hai Shaurya? Average hai, you know, I'm better than him. पता नहीं क्या किया उसने, उसको पसंद आ गया कंपनी को, चलेगा वो बकवास कंपनी है. This is how he convinces himself. Human mind, you know, this is how we work. There is a famous formula I always share with my students. Success equals no success plus a good explanation. When we don't get something, na, we convince ourselves कि मेरा problem नहीं है, वो actually, you know, उसका problem है. So be self-aware. Now, how do you get self-awareness? By asking feedback. How many of you have gone to your professor, have gone to your friends, have gone to your parents and asked them, what am I doing well? What can I do even better? I request all of you to do that. Whenever you get back to college, get to know your people for 1 or 2 months, ask people. Next one is don't alter your DNA. Be adaptive, but be yourself. You don't have to alter your core to suit the world's definition of desirable. You know, adaptability is very important. Agility is very important. If you go to Mumbai, You should try misal pav and vada pav. If you go to Kolkata, you have to try the Bengali dishes. ये सब जगह पे जाके सांबार इडली ढूंढा तो नहीं मिलेगा. मिलेगा? Of course मिलेगा सब जगह पे. But you are just not adapting yourself. But that doesn't mean that you have to fundamentally change. You know, when I was moving to Vietnam, my Australian colleagues told me that, Ashok, you know, you are just too nice a person. Yeah, you know, they were saying that, you know, all these Asian people, they need to be told what to do. You need to be a boss. You can't ask them for opinion, feedback. They won't like it. But fundamentally, that is what I am. I cannot change myself. But my realization was, people anywhere in the world are the same. They want to be respected. They want to be asked for opinion. And that's what makes them better. So be adaptable, but don't change yourself completely. If you ask me what are my regrets, you know, today I'm 41. And if you ask me 20s, sir, what do you think you could have done different? There's so many things I now feel I regret about, you know, not spending time with my parents, not getting into spiritualism, you know, not praying enough, not meditating enough, not taking care of my health, practicing right habits. I've been through your age, right? So I totally get it, how our mind works. But today, you know, like I handle, doctor was saying, you know, I have a social media presence now in all, like YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I have a team. I have a personal team, and they're all college students, you know, in fact, one is a school student studying 12th standard. He earns 25 lakhs per year. He just had his board exam last month. And he comes from Patna, not a Mumbai or a Delhi. My Instagram editor is from Mirzapur. Super smart guy. They're all doing multiple things. They're studying as well. They're all studying in big colleges. Side mein ye bhi kar raha hai. Very well behaved, no habits, always focusing on skilling themselves, not earning money. Earning money is a byproduct. If you improve your skills, automatically you will earn money. So when you are in the college, your focus should be to skill up yourself. The focus is not placement. I visited a college recently and I was having a talk with the professors and the dean. And we were all talking about this, you know, the problem is parents are only looking for colleges kahan pe 100% placement hai. Students are only focused on placement. There is no skill. Skill hai to automatically placement hoga na. You have to learn whatever you're studying to understand. Not to ratta marne ke liye nahi. If you don't understand the concept, ask the professor again. I'm sure they will be happy to teach you. Read a lot of books. I suggest at least one book a month. Any kind of book, doesn't matter. Hindu paper is also not bad. But read something. Last point is, whatever you're doing, do it in a way that you are proud of yourself. I call it chase obscene success. You should do it in a way that even you are amazed at the output. I'll give a small example. You are submitting a case study. You're submitting a project, an assignment. Can you do something which will make your professor feel that, wow, this is amazing. I have never seen a submission like this in my history of teaching students ever. Anything you do, start with that end goal in mind. Okay, I want to make this a wow kind of thing. And that's what will give you continuous success. I think in closing, I want to mention that we can all complain about everything else happening outside. And we love it. We love complaining about, right now, of course, anything that happens in India is the Prime Minister's fault. Anything that happens at home is parents, are paise nahi de rahe hain. Teacher, is not teaching properly. We will sit in front of a, TV or internet and complain about how our politicians are not running the country, but we can't even manage ourselves. We can't even get up on time. We can't focus on our studies. We can't study properly. We can't do our exams properly. But we will give 1 hour lecture about how the economy can be better, how jobs should be created. See, all that has to happen. I'm not, by the way, I don't favor any political party. But what irritates me is, people don't take any self-accountability. We talk about community and all that, but community starts with us. And some people say the corporate culture acha nahi hai. Or any culture, right? Or company culture acha nahi hai. But I'm like, company is not individual, company is you and me. We create the culture, and the culture comes from the way we behave. So form right habits. Of course, have fun in life, nothing wrong. Just be aware of your limits. And especially, I want to finish, being the month of Pride. I want to definitely make a note about how we all, as a society, have to be more inclusive. In fact, Dr. Swain, today I was talking to my HR, and we were saying that, corporate companies and organizations are actually doing a lot for inclusion and diversity. But society is not ready for it. We want to, for example, bring more women in an engineering company, right? In construction environment. But then society, like moment the girl gets married, they'll come and say, sir, my in-laws don't want me to do this kind of job. When how can we change society? It's from education. And this is where I feel, sir, schools and colleges have a big responsibility to teach the right kind of skills, thought process. Similarly, finance skills. If you have not done, sir, you should definitely invite somebody to teach students how to manage money, how to do investments, where to invest, how to. I was never taught. I started investing just 3 years ago, when I was 38 years old. We are taught to get placement and get high salary, but वो पैसे को क्या करना है वो कोई सिखाता नहीं. So these are the things to learn. And to the students, do not expect college to teach you everything. You also have to spend your own time and effort to learn things. Because colleges have certain regulations, with the Board of Education, they have to teach certain things. You have to take the initiative. So with that, I'll complete the formal part of the session. We can open up for some questions.
Yeah, thank you, sir. It was wonderful always, listening. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we open our session for question answer, let me sum up what sir spoke about. His mission is to produce leaders. I can see that since a long time. I know him, and he's on a mission to produce leaders. If you go through his social media handles also, you will come to know what exactly he's trying to do. He talked about 6 lessons. The first one is fail many times, but never quit. Happiness matters. Second is no job is beneath your standards. Third, know your limit to cross it. Self-awareness is a must. Don't alter your DNA, but be adaptable. Then he spoke about whatever work you do it with full passion and compassion. And finally, he said, form right habits. So these are the 6 mantras or lessons he delivered for all of you. So now we will open up the session for question answer. Some of the questions I got, and I transferred it to sir also. So I'll read out these few selected questions, and I hope sir will answer all these questions. Sir, should I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay. The first question is there is a compliment for you. It's a great session. Second question is, how does a leader inspire others in a crisis created by his own action?
How does a leader inspire others
in a crisis created by his own action?
Well, I think inspiration comes from being honest. Honesty brings a lot of respect. Let's say that I made a mistake. And if I come to all of you and say, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I could have done a better job. Already is an inspiration, sir. So I would say be honest, be upfront, apologize for it, and show that you mean business. Present an action plan and implement it.
Right. Wonderful. Second question is, how do we take the toughest decisions in our life?
How do we make the toughest decisions in our life?
Decisions in our life. Yeah.
I think depending on the age, it can vary. I would say when you're younger, in your 20s, early 20s, make a lot of decisions. There is no tough or right or wrong decision. It's about experiencing various things.
Right. Wonderful.
So just
keep
trying different things, and then you will figure out. As you get older, of course, it makes a big difference. By the way, I've shared my social media handles on the chat box if you want to, follow him.
Yeah. Thank you. The next question is, how much sacrifice is needed to become a good leader?
Can you repeat, sir? How many?
How much sacrifice is needed to become a good leader?
I don't think there's any sacrifice. I'm not going to say I sacrificed a lot of things. It's the choices we make. So everything is a choice that we have to, decide. If you want to be a CEO, you have to make a choice about spending a lot of time. And that's what I would say.
Yeah. The next question is, how do you manage your work-life balance as a CEO?
I don't have any work-life balance problem, sir. I think it's a word coined by consultants for making a lot of money and courses on work-life balance. I call it work-life integration. I don't have, to be honest, any stress about, I don't work like till midnight and all that. I only work till 6 o'clock maximum, that too. Like today, 5 o'clock, I'm going to be leaving. I spend time with my kids. How do I manage? Because I have a very strong team. I develop a very strong team first. I invest a lot of effort in the time. My time is my most important resource because it's a finite resource. Everything else is infinite. I can make a lot of money, but I cannot make a lot of time. So I decide where I spend my time. I spend it on important actions so that nothing becomes urgent. That's how I do it.
Okay, wonderful. There is another question: how I improve my personality and communication?
Okay, there are two different things. Personality is one and communication is one. See, let's talk about communication first. Communication is coming from practice. It doesn't, for example, just last week, my social media team decided that I will start doing videos in Hindi. Now, my mother tongue is not Hindi, it's Tamil. But I can speak Hindi. But of course, I do make mistakes. I have mistakes of strilling, pulling, all those things. But I told my team, I will start speaking in Hindi. I will try. I've already recorded 7-8 videos. The 8th video is definitely much better than the first video. So I'm practicing, at this age also, I'm practicing, I'm trying. So if you want to improve communications, there is two things. One is listening and the other is speaking. Speaking, you can improve by practicing. You can join Toastmasters club, or if the college has a communications club or a debate club, you can join that. Listening is very, very, very important. Listen to understand, not listening to reply. Personality, is about what I call as executive presence. I made a video on it also a while ago. It's about right from the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress up, the way you present yourself. See, I'm not going to say you have to be good looking, but have you noticed that whoever looks fit looks good? The same person, and we have seen a lot of examples. Like I saw recently photo of Fardeen Khan, one of the actors who used to be very fit and handsome 10 years ago. Then he became very fat, and again now he's become very fit. And moment he becomes fit, he looks very good. And moment he becomes fat, people think he's not looking as good as what he was. So work on your fitness. Keep yourself, I'm not going to say buy expensive clothes and all that, but wear good clothes, decent, nice fitting clothes. That automatically improves your confidence. That's how your personality can improve. Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. Next question is it better to do a job or start your own startup?
Well, it's a very, I cannot decide for anybody, right? Everybody's choices are different. Everybody's situations are different. Again, if you're early in 20s, try both. So you will know which one is better.
Yeah. The next question is your favorite dish and your favorite destination.
My favorite dish. I'm a foodie. I like all kinds of food, all state food. Whenever I travel, like tomorrow, I'm going to Chandigarh. I'm already planning which dhaba to go and have my dal makhani and my, favorite Punjabi dishes. And Sunday, I'm going to Kolkata. I'm already planning to go to, my favorite restaurant in Kolkata, in fact, Baliganj place, and try all my favorite dishes. So I love food, though I have lost a lot of weight now and I don't eat a lot. Quantity is very less. But yeah, favorite destination, again, a very tough one. I have a lot of favorite destinations, but my nani is from a place called Wayanad, which many of you may know. It's a constituency of Rahul Gandhi as well in Kerala. It's near Calicut. It's a small village. So I have been to many countries, but I still like to go to that small little village, my nani's house.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. There is another question. As a CEO, what is your favorite spot? Poolside or boardroom?
Bullseye in boardroom.
Okay. And then, there is another question just now I have received in the chat box. They're saying you have grown from quality engineers to the level of president and CEO. So wanted to know the key factors to reach the top. Is it only due to long duration in the company or anything else? What are the key points to reach the top? If you can just give a couple
Yeah,
of.
firstly, I think every job that I did, I wanted to be the best. So when I was a quality engineer, I mean, see, this is a very long, actually the answer is very long. I would request you all to watch my podcast with Ranveer, where I've spoken about this for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Every role I did, I was kind of stand out. People used to talk about me as a role model. Usko dekho, aise kaam karna hai, kind of role model. So whatever role I was doing, I was the top, which helped me to kind of get promotions quicker. I started working very late. I only started working at the age of 26. But 28, I became the youngest general manager. 31, I was youngest managing director. I came to India as youngest CEO. So trying to outbeat. So performance, top performance, always curious to learn, always taking feedback. I would say also respecting people, being down to earth, being humble. People, always a very people obsessed person. I love people. I love always making sure that they can succeed. So these are some qualities.
Thank you very much for all these answers. Your final thoughts for the students? 2 things they should do, which is a must to face the challenges of the corporate world and even personal life.
I think first of all, be agile. Don't have any fixed mindset. There's a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. If you have a growth mindset, every problem you see it as an opportunity. Every situation you see it as in a positive way. Most important thing that you should definitely keep in mind. Second thing is stop comparing your life. Like I mentioned before, that's a killer in today's generation. Don't go by what you see in social media. We only show the nice things because that's the only way we can, attract more followers. So don't get carried away by that. Reality is very, very different. And compete with yourself always, not with anybody else.
Right. Thank you.